Entering settings screen, you have 18 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected. Menu narration option is set to off.
Coach, we're about 15 miles or so west of downtown Phoenix at State Farm Stadium in the Arizona suburb of Glendale. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Arizona Cardinals. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Man, I got you. Man, I got you. Whip. Watch the whip. Zip. Check the call.
Second down, Murray sets to throw. And Braith, the tight end's got it. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Hey, watch out. Check Mike 54. Mike. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up. 6 guys.
Murray to throw on 3rd and 1. And able to find Kirk complete. That one goes for 8 yards.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
40's Mike. 40's Mike. It's our time. It's our time. Go. Check 3.
Murray now on 1st down. He's going to float this one deep right side. This is caught at the 20. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said. Better team at home should steamroll it. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
And he probably should have stayed in the end zone as he'll muster a return up to only the 14-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 13-yard line.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Mike 35. Let's go, D. 40 got. Smooth.
A shotgun snap for Stanford. That is caught by the former Gator Antonio Callaway. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. From the gun, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
Pulled in at the 24. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Cards will take over, 1st and 10. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And coming up on their second drive of the game, had the touchdown last time. Murray fighting, lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Check Mike 40. I got it. Mike 40, Mike 40.
And an alley to run. Finding some room at midfield. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54. Put up. I'm here all day. Let's go.
Murray now on first down. That's going to be caught by Kirk. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Here's Murray. He'll let this go for the end zone. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. Andy Isabella with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
Hey, blue 15. Hey, 5-0. Check back.
Throwing on third down, Stanford. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Budda Baker with a pick, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. That's going to be caught. 36 yards on the play. How about this first quarter for them throwing the football?
This defense has 0 answers for what they've seen so far with the ball in the air. I'm not sure how they're going to change things around, but offensively, I keep attacking. I keep throwing the football until they make me change.
And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
A lot can go wrong when you call a play like this down in the red zone, but that's where you appreciate this from your head coach. He's not afraid to trust his guys to do the right thing, and as a player, that means an awful lot.
Let's go, team. It's going to be a long day.
On 2nd and goal. Murray toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but now it's 3rd and goal.
It's now 3rd down and less than a yard.
So here we go on a 3rd and goal. This Lions defense, they haven't broken yet.
Check. Check out.
They'll try to run with Lindsey. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the 2nd quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your 2-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
Mike 40, Mike 40. I'm on. Check. 40's Mike. 40's a Mike. 40's a Mike. I know he ain't got it.
They're going for it. It's Murray. And my goodness, this is incomplete. They're turned away on 4th and goal. And the Lion defense able to come up there with a goal line stand. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
It's a gain of 14 and a 1st down for Detroit. Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. Here's Stafford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Another try after the 1st down sack. Stafford. And down inside the red zone at the 19-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Andy Isabella with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. There the Cardinals push further out in front. Extra point by Moore, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28.
All right, T, let's all right, T. 40's the mic. Squeeze. Here we go. Let's bring it. Let's go. Let's bring it. Let's bring it. Check Mike 40. Check Mike 40. Rip left. Rip left.
Murray again, 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Murray with a 3rd and long. And it's hauled in by Austin Hooper. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
59. Check, 59. Here we go. Here we go. Slam.
Murray and company going for it on 4th. Able to find Isabella. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Some collective exhales over there on the sideline. A big pickup through the air on 4th down to bring up 1st and goal. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They run it with Carson. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. 2nd down and goal. Murray to the end zone, but it's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target, but now it's 3rd and goal.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59. And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
Murray now, 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Andy Isabella on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. Here the Cardinals push further out in front. Extra point by Marr, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. Now after the touchdown, here's Gonzalez on to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. You've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Stafford, and he's got this one complete to Callaway. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Jabal Sheard wreaking the defensive havoc. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
The great blocking nearly sprung in there. 28-yard return. And the Cardinals, great field position to start. First and 10.
He can't hang. He's not going to get me. Go. Watch twins. Jack Rabbit. Hayward.
First down, Murray. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Definitely worth taking another deep shot here. He's already found the end zone twice here in the first half.
Yeah, go back to that same well. They've had trouble containing him, but able to contain him on that play. Throwing is Murray on third down. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Coleman, and they will take over at the 29-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. Jalen Mills hit on the stop.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the gun, Stafford. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. This is taken around the 12. A great return there, bobbing and weaving his way for 31 yards. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. Now he lets it go deep for Kirk. This is caught. A big play there just before halftime. 56 yards. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on first and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Second and goal from the 6 this time. Now Murray. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, You'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
They'll try to run with Lindsey. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7th. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. This just a 24-yard attempt. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The Cards with the lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go, boy. Bring it up.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. They'll run on first down. Newsom. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
At the 47-yard line.
They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Throwing is Stafford. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield, guy who can take it the distance. But in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Stafford. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off near the 32. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
I hope you brought your left because I'm about to take you to school.
On first down, Carson looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. He was brought down by Kamu Grugier-Hill.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing on second down. Murray. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Cardinals. Christian Kirk, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 18-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they do the interception and finish off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Looking to throw on second down. Stafford caught here by Conley. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit.
14. First down, Detroit.
Stafford now 5 straight completions here in this second half. First and 10. Newsome on the carry. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
Well, they certainly haven't been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
On second and 9, Stafford. And now here's another interception. Picked up by Jalen Mills. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
The tackle made by Kevin King. A 6-yard pickup brings up second and 4 at the 24-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4. Now it's Carson. And he'll get a couple here down to the 22.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here we go, here we go. Hustle, hustle. You Mike 52, Mike 52. I don't think you got it, son. No, check that. We got Mike 52 right here. Mike 52. Let's go. Echo. Mike part two. Here we go.
Third and 2, and here's Murray. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Marr able to put this one through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
Here we go.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is Just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Newsome. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Back to throw. Alvarado. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. They'll run on first down. It's Carson. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Mark that as a gain of 16 to set him up first and goal.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Back of the end zone, could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Here's Carson. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
I got you, boy. I got you, boy.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Cardinals on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. To throw, it's Murray. Open man is Kirk, complete. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. The kick by Marr is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 19-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
2nd and 11. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got
into double coverage, and it's intercepted. picked by Deontay Thompson. And he will score. Touchdown, Cardinals. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Throwing after the interception. Alvarado. And that's complete to Jesse James. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. This quarterback now just 1 for 5 since coming on, but that one gets him a 1st and 10 here. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Looking to throw. Alvarado. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
Ha-ha, Clinton Dix there for the stop. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-armed guy who can rifle it.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And they work this out past the 25. Last play, they got stumped at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however, and let's see what that's about. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. This is Carson. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. To throw on 3rd down. Murray. This one caught by Isabella. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona 1st. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
That's where you belong.
A gain of 5 brings up 3rd and 6.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6.
2-6. Yo. 40's Mike. 40's the Mike. 40's the Mike. Ready, go.
From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. He's going to fire one deep over the middle into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. Andy Isabella was the intended target. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another pass attempt, another incompletion. You figure defensively, you're in the fourth quarter here. You've held a team under 100 yards passing. You've done your job.
Especially in today's NFL, which is truly a pass-first league.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. And the trend continues here in the fourth like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
So it's a win here for the Arizona. Tell you what.
Offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert.